The turnovers that they force and steals they make are pretty impressive. But, yeah, I would think it would be an up-and-down game.
The Tigers and Tar Heels tip off Friday at 7:30 in Kansas City. This is NCN Sports.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
NC State has extended head football coach Dave Doran's contract another 5 years. He'll get $3.2 million through 2023. He's entering his 7th season with the Wolfpack. He's led them to back-to-back 9-win seasons. Another local name, meanwhile, has surfaced in the nationwide college admissions bribery scheme. Former NC State football player Eric Leak, who was also later a booster, pleaded guilty to the charges last week. He's already serving prison time for his involvement in a Medicaid fraud scheme, as well as admitting to laundering money through his sports agency and paying college athletes. 1 week into March Madness, CBS feeling pretty good. Based on ratings from the nation's largest media markets, the Nielsen Company said CBS and the Turner Networks had the second best performance over the last 29 years for the first 4 games of the tournament. Nielsen didn't have exact viewership numbers, but said Duke's close call Sunday against Central Florida was particularly popular. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
If you're turning 65 soon or just moved to the area, you need to learn about First Medicare Direct from First Carolina Care Insurance Company, a wholly owned subsidiary of First Health of the Carolinas. First Medicare Direct offers more benefits than original Medicare. It includes a fitness membership at low or no additional cost and Part D prescription coverage, eliminating the need to have another prescription plan. You get personal local service, and the plan is available in Moore, Lee, Chatham, Montgomery, Hoke, Scotland, and Richmond counties. Premiums starting as low as $0 per month. Join the thousands in the Sandhills region who have chosen First Medicare Direct. Attend a free information session at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, April 10th in the Monroe Auditorium at First Health Moore Regional Hospital. For more information, call 877-279-1732 or visit firstmedicare.com.
We are available for phone calls from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern 7 days a week, except Thanksgiving and Christmas, from October 1st through March 31st, and Monday through Friday, except holidays, from April 1st through September 30th. First Carolina Care Insurance Company complies with federal civil rights laws and does not discriminate on the basis of race, color, national origin, age, disability, or sex. A salesperson will be present with information and applications. For accommodation of persons with special needs at sales meetings, call 1-877-279-1732.
Aaron Cooper of Cooper Ford in Carthage wants you to know that you can't buy a new Ford for less anywhere else in the Sandhills, guaranteed. With 0% APR financing available and up to $15,000 off on select vehicles with approved credit.
I'm Aaron Cooper, and if you're in the market for a new Ford, what are you waiting for? You can't buy a new Ford car, truck, or SUV for less anywhere, guaranteed. Cooper Ford is the only locally and family-owned Ford dealership in Moore County. So that means we know the value of investing in our community, and that's why March is our Habitat for Humanity Appreciation Month, which means we'll donate $50 to Habitat for Humanity for every vehicle we sell during the month of March, with no games, no gimmicks, just upfront, honest pricing, and certified service after the sale. I'm Aaron Cooper, and I want to know you by name. Come in today and let Cooper Ford show you how car buying should be.
It's the lowest price guarantee at Cooper Ford. Just a few short minutes from the traffic circle off 15501 in Carthage, or on the web at cooperford.net. Cooper Ford, working hard to be your hometown dealer.
The Festival Day Avian Celebration of Freedom in Flight is Friday, April 12th and Saturday the 13th. Tickets to the second annual celebration of Military and Might are just $15 online now through Sunday at festivaldavion.com. Ticket prices increase April 1st, so get your $15 tickets now. Friday night the 12th. Gates open at 5 p.m. at the Moore County Airport as the Festival Day Avion kicks off with the award-winning Eagles Tribute Band on the border. Saturday is a full day of food and fun with vintage military aircraft, precision jump teams, unique displays, and much more. $15 tickets are good for both days, and kids 12 and under get free admission. Go online to festivaldAvion.com and get your $15 tickets now. Ticket prices increase April 1st.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call will be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
Come to Comfort Services in Aberdeen to get a free estimate on a new Carrier system or heat pump, and you may qualify for a rebate up to $2,000 from Carrier. Get in on the savings and purchase a qualifying heating or cooling product before the Cool Cash rebate ends June 30th. You may also qualify for financing options as well. Stop into Comfort Services on Highway 5 next to the Habitat store in Aberdeen, or call 910-695-2665. Carrier and Comfort Services, a great team.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
Local ownership is becoming a rare commodity in the car business. Clark Chevrolet Cadillac in Pinehurst is, and has always been, a small-town family business, not just a cog in a larger dealer group. Serving our community and creating satisfied, loyal customers for over 47 years, Clark Chevrolet Cadillac is a full-service dealership specializing in sales, service, parts, and collision repair. An honest dealership, no gimmicks, just an easy way of doing business. Tell us what you're looking for, and if we don't have it in stock, we will gladly get it for you. Clark Chevrolet Cadillac is located just a half mile from Moore Regional Medical Center on Dundee Road in Pinehurst. Experience the Clark Chevrolet Cadillac difference. Your hometown GM dealership. On the web at pinehurstcadillac.com.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Of all things, I played the clarinet in middle school. I'm not real sure how that happened, but I am sure I was not an asset to the clarinet section. As a matter of fact, I was last chair in the B band. Didn't have a C band. When my parents came to visit, I told them we were seated in alphabetical order. My dad was so proud. I told him that outright lie because I knew my dad would make me practice more. He would not have blamed the band instructor or the other clarinet players. He'd have held me responsible. I've told you many times I was not a good student. I wasn't stupid. I guess I was just lazy. But here's the catch. My parents did not buy into, well, if Johnny isn't doing well, there's a problem with the school he attends. They used to ask me this question all the time. If there are kids in your class who put in the work and make good grades, why can't you do the same thing? Their remedy was to make me study. It never would have occurred to them that I was incapable of making better grades, and they were right. Parents have to care about their kids. It's a parent's job to make sure they get what's best for their child. Don't you think so? What kind of logic dictates that we move kids who make better grades to a different school to help the raise the school grade there? What's wrong with holding parents responsible for their children? If you disagree, come on the radio and let's argue about it. In the Zumwalt Zone.
Sunshine will rule the day across our area, but it's still going to be a cool one. Expect those highs in the mid to upper 50s. By tonight, temperatures will fall into the lower 30s under mostly clear skies. We'll have plenty of sunshine around on Thursday as well, but our temperatures, they are going to warm up. Highs will reach the low to mid 60s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
You're my favorite.
Thanks for listening.
There's a guy out there, he's got a perfect bracket.
40-year-old Greg Nigel, a neuropsychologist from Columbus, Ohio. And he's the first person to make it to the Sweet 16 with an unblemished record. The odds of that happening, 1 in 281 trillion. This is the longest any bracket has remained perfect in the history of the tournament. Now, out of tens of millions that were submitted, there's only one perfect bracket still standing.
You got me thinking about a perfect day.
It's Wednesday.
Is it?
Wednesday. Do you know what time it is?
Is it time to make the donuts?
I read somewhere that the smell of donuts is one of the strongest aphrodisiacs. Donuts!
Whoa.
Excellent!
That's how you get banned from a donut shop.
Donut o'clock.
It's great.
Oh, the diet starts tomorrow. But the show must go on. Now!
It's showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM, WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams this morning along with John Zumwalt and retired Colonel Jeff Drummond. And this program being seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available at talk973.com. Upper right-hand corner, no, I'm sorry, top middle of the page is where that link's located. That will get you there. On your mobile device, YouTube will do the work. Put Mornings with the Leader Man in there. Look for the Listen Live results. And if you're on your mobile device just needing an audio, we suggest TuneIn, iTunes, Streamer. Many other streaming services will work, such as Alexa. Just put WEEB in the search, and we'll pop up at the top. If you're on our website at talk973.com, upper right-hand corner of every page has an icon that says On the Air, Listen Live. Tap it once, you're listening just that quick. Sunny today with a high of 58. Tonight, clear 34. Tomorrow, more sunshine, about 8 degrees warmer, high of 66. Friday, look for a high of 72. We're still talking about sunshine. Saturday, 75. And we'll get a little chance of rain Saturday night into Sunday morning. Look for Sunday to be partly cloudy, chance of showers, high of 69. And back to sunshine on Monday with a high of 56. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are north-northeast at 7. Visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 3042. 2.28. Humidity 76%. Sunshine at 35 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM. 104.1 FM and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is Wednesday. And as we do every Wednesday, we have the extended Zumwalt zone. John Zumwalt in here. And since this is your segment, we'll let you lead it. Also in the studio with us this morning, retired Colonel Jeff Drummond, U.S. Marine.
Well, good morning, everyone. Now, Jeff won't let me call him Jeff. He makes me call him Colonel. So.
Oh, yeah, right.
Steve, I want to talk this morning. I want to start off at least by kind of continuing what we've talked about the last few times I've been on here, and that is the school board and the superintendent. But I have a little different take on it this morning. I want to be very clear. This redistricting fiasco is becoming more and more widely known, but it's not widely known enough yet, and that's kind of the first thing I want to do is point out that parents, please get well informed on the redistricting thing. And I'm going to give my phone number out, and I would appreciate it if you would text me rather than call it first, and I'll put you in touch with folks who can actually give you the information you need to know about the redistricting. My number is 910-783-5264. There is a lot of division in this community right now, and there's going to be a lot more division in this community over this redistricting issue, especially once people become aware. It's important to note, and this is the number 2 thing that I want to talk about, it's important to note that this issue is being brought to the front by parents who've attended the meetings and actually understand the issues and the repercussions behind, or rather that will result from the redistricting. This is not a result of panic. It's not a result of fear tactics. It's rather a result of a very smart group of parents who've talked and gotten together and decided this is not good for our children. rather than me trying to explain the whole redistricting issue, we had some very good folks on here the last two times. We had yesterday and then last week, and we'll probably have some more. But if you'll text me, I will put you in touch with them, and they can tell you firsthand what is going on. And it's they don't believe it's good, and I don't believe it's good. But that's not my decision to make. Our job here at the radio station, we feel, is to inform you, not to panic you, but rather to try to get you as much information as we can get you so that you can make a clear decision. Now, I've pointed out many times that I believe Dr. Bob is very divisive, and I think he's still divisive. I hope you'll listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. The entire redistricting fiasco, Dr. Bob has defended himself by accusing the parents, and the parents have told me, and I completely believe them, that he's made accusations of racism and white privilege. You probably need to know a little bit about this so that you can understand what I'm saying. The plan now is to bus kids who make better grades to schools who don't perform so well, and that will bring up the school's grade. Now, the parents who don't want this are saying, no, my child does well in school. Why would I want to bus them? Why would I want to put them on a school bus and send them somewhere that is a low-performing school? Why don't you fix the education? Why do you think that sending my child on this trip will bring up this school? Why is this my responsibility? Now, to the parents who are concerned about this, my apologies, because that was not a very good explanation, but it kind of is an overview of it. Now, Dr. Bob has tried to imply, oh no, the reason you don't want your children to be bused over there is because you're racist, or because you're economically or white privileged. This has got to stop, and it has to stop right this second, right now. These kind of accusations are what do divide a community. And my biggest worry is this, that he will somehow find a way to blame the parents for this divisiveness. He'll somehow find a way to make it stick, these racial accusations and these white privilege accusations and this financially blessed folks do not want their children to associate with others. Bob Grimacy, I call him the Lazarus superintendent, the one who came back from the dead, that we brought back from the dead. I think you made a mistake this time, Bob. I think you made a mistake. I think you just don't shuffle kids around like chess pieces in order to obtain your personal goals, no matter how you slice it. This redistricting is a result of poor planning, and poor planning has been the norm for too long.
The only thing it seems to result in is makes him look good at the expense of the kids.
It makes him look good, better
on paper.
On paper, at the expense of the kids. And thank goodness the parents caught this time. So many times before I say we because I've gone to so many of them, go to these meetings, you either shut down or you're given some long, convoluted answer that no one can understand, and you're told, okay, now that's it. Now, the insinuation is, don't dare speak against Bob, the person that we made king, because if you do, you're wrong, and then you will have a mob, a true mob, turn on you. And it's important to note, these parents are not acting like a mob. They are going about their business in a very gentle way, trying to inform parents, and that's the whole key to this. You must be informed on what's going on, and you must understand their true motivation has nothing to do with elitism. That is so important, because sooner or later we're going to see a column somewhere or hear of someone talking about, well, the parents have really done it this time. They've divided. No, the parents have not divided this community. It was this land squarely on Bob. You might recall that when he went to the commissioners around his bosses, without them having any kind of a meeting to ask for that $2.68 million, one of the first things he said was, I'll take the heat. Well, Bob, take the heat, because you deserve it for this one. And while I'm at it, I want you to listen to me. You guys, I believe, made a big mistake on that when you turned down that, rather when the first bidder dropped out, and you didn't collect that bond. We're not through with that yet. I can promise you. Even though I've called your office several times, no, 6, 7 times, John Barath, and you have not given me that information. Believe me, I'm going to get it, and so we're not through with that issue yet.
Well, you might want to tell the listeners what it was. Is that the lowest bidder, quote unquote, put in a bid and then comes back and claims, "Oh, we had a mathematical error." Well, I contend that mathematical error was put in there deliberately, but John Barath should have caught it from the get-go, because that's his job. He should have double-checked everything on that bid to make sure it was all legit and in order before accepting it. But no, they wait till it's the last possible moment. The guy wants to pull out and says, "Oh, I got a math error, and under the statute, that's the only reason that I can pull out." And just incompetence is all it is. And I think that the bidders know it. They all put the mathematical error in there that they can, lean on if they have to. And this has cost us $2.68 million, or $2.68, yeah, million more dollars. But that's just my take on it.
Well, and the reason I'm pursuing this is because there's a 5% bond, a bid bond, which means if you drop out, you have to pay us, and that'll be a little over $1 million. Well, where's that money? Why wasn't that pursued? There's also I know that John Barath, we've been told that he looked at it and he made a decision that they did make a mistake. Well, that's not what the law calls for John Barath to go look at it and make that decision. So it's important for everyone to understand this. This is not a vendetta. We're not after the schools. We're not after Dr. Bob per se. I'm not happy with him, with what he's doing. I think he's gotten away with a lot too long. However, we are merely trying to get the facts out so the public and the parents can make their own decisions, because I don't believe you're getting the true story, and I think you're being shut down. So probably enough about that for today. We'll move on to the next one.
All right. What you want to move on? Jesse Smollett?
Yeah. Now, is that how you pronounce that? Smollett or Smollett? Or I
don't think anybody really cares.
Well,
criminal. Jesse Criminal.
Jesse the Criminal Smollett or Smollett?
Well, yeah. Everybody knows he pulled in a political favor from Michelle Obama and got away with 16 felonies. Then they go, oh, he's done 18 hours of community service, and he'll forfeit his bond of $10,000, and we'll just wash the slate clean of his 16 felonies. Now, it's a two-tier process. It's a two-tier justice system in this country, and that's just an exclamation point on it.
Didn't I hear or read that the feds were going to follow up on the mail fraud aspect of it?
If they do.
Yeah, okay. I thought I saw the feds were going to pursue that.
Well, my understanding is that the police department had not, they were doing the investigating. They hadn't turned it over to the feds yet, but they're going to now turn it over to the feds to pursue, if they will.
Yeah.
They need to scorch this guy. I mean, you talk about a nationwide racist act to stoke the fires of racism and lay it at the feet of Trump. That's what this all was about. And yesterday he stands in front of the microphones and says, I'm still innocent of these charges. Yeah, right.
Well, what makes it even worse is the prosecutor who dismissed these charges had first recused herself, came back, and I don't know how you unrecuse yourself. I was talking to our district attorney here, and she told me that it's beyond unethical. You just don't do it once you have been recused, because you have a reason to recuse yourself.
Right. But it's okay if you're a liberal and you live in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, about anything is okay in Chicago, except this time, any time that Mayor Rahm Emanuel, the superintendent of police, the president of the Police Officers Union, all band together to condemn, and by the way, they're all people of color. And we all know that Mayor Rahm Emanuel is aligned pretty closely with Obama. But anytime they all all band together to condemn this against another lady who's a black prosecutor. We know that something is very, very wrong. And we often hear our people of color yelling, there are two sets of rules. Well, you know what? There are two sets of rules, and there are two sets of rules for that are very clear here. Even though everyone in this group is a person of color, let me talk about another person who gets away with anything she wants to get away with. Any idea who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Her name's Hillary Clinton, and I'm glad I have Jeff Drummond in here, and retired Marine Corps colonel. And if anyone was ever squared away in the military, even though I was an Army guy, Marines are. They are by the book. They when they walk into a place en masse, you know they're there. Everything is squared away. They don't leave a bunch of trash where they go. And why do I say that? Because Marines understand rules and regulations, and especially a Marine Corps colonel. So I want to talk about Hillary Clinton now and what she got away with, because I don't think that average civilians can know this. I don't think they can really have a good grasp on how serious this is. I think you have had to live the life to really understand what she did. And I'm only going to talk about her security violations. And if you're a military person out there listening, or retired military, you're going to so get this. In order to handle let me start with the basics. In order to handle classified information, if you're given something that's of classified nature, first you've got to have you've got to be cleared for classified. You've got to be cleared for either secret, top secret with special compartmented information, or you've got to be cleared for SAP, which is the highest that she had on her, that Hillary dealt with. Even if you have the lowest classification, which in this case I want to talk about just secret, you cannot put that in your pocket and carry it to wherever you're going. Even if it's perfectly legal for you to carry it from one place to another, you can't just stick it in your pocket. You've got to have special wrapping, you've got to have a special case, and you've got to have what they call courier orders. If you don't have those three things and you transport that paper, you are in serious trouble. I don't care.
Or electronic device.
Exactly. I'll get to the electronic in just a second.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if you're a colonel or if you're a private. You cannot do that. And I can't begin to tell you how strict that is. It's a crime that unless you're involved in the intelligence part of the world or carrying intelligence, you just cannot understand this. Now, top secret, you can't even look at a top secret document unless your particular building has been cleared for that, or you go into a special room called a SCIF, a secure compartmented information facility. You can't even pull out a piece of top secret material. And if you need to fax it, you have to have a special fax phone, and that includes secret as well. You can't transport it unless you have special permission and courier orders that you can transport it.
True.
And if you have a SAP, forget a SAP. If I'm working side by side with someone in the same building every day, and I am working on a SAP, I can't even tell him. I can't tell my boss, and I can tell no one, much less transport that information around, much less have that on my unsecured BlackBerry.
Yeah. You're not going to have that dislocated from your location, period.
And if you do, Jeff,
right.
If you had a sergeant, say, come in and your office and you found what happens?
Well, either deliberately or inadvertently, that's the end of him. Yeah. I mean,
whether he meant to or not, it makes no difference.
Exactly.
Because anyone who handles classified information is given hours and hours and hours of classes on you can do this, you can do that. Everyone knows. There's absolutely no. And okay, let's go a little bit further. Anything involving the Secretary of State is classified. If she is going to Holland next week, that's classified until she decides to make it unclassified. So anything that she does is classified.
Yeah, her calendar, schedule, everything should be if it's not.
And so for her to violate every single one of these things, in which any one of these would be jail time for a regular soldier.
Yes. Well, it may not be, like I said, the inadvertent. You put down something on a desk, you pick it up, and by chance there's a file underneath of it that shouldn't be there, and you walk out. That's just the end of your career. That may or may not land you in jail. I mean, somebody might see, hey, what's that in that stack of stuff you have there? You know, come here and you know.
Yeah.
You may or may not end up in jail. But what she did is just outlandish.
Didn't they say that, I don't know, I forget the number, whether it was 7 or 14 countries had already, had hacked her server?
Listen,
yeah.
If you go to another country with a phone, you might as well just figure they've got that information. And if you're the Secretary of State and you're carrying around an unsecured phone, you might as well just figure they
right.
got the information.
She was carrying 2 phones. That's no way. Nope.
They can get. They not only can get it, they will get it. We know they have it, and we just plan for that.
Right.
That's why they don't allow her to carry those things. But all right, any more on that, you guys? Anybody think? But the real point of this is, yes, ladies and gentlemen, there are definitely 2 sets of rules.
Yeah, she deliberately did that, and that's the difference, the inadvertent, deliberate.
Yeah.
And, you know, they wanted to let her go. There was no intent. There was certainly intent in what she did. And
well, the cover-up was there, too.
Yes, it just escalates after that.
Just like some Millette is another different set of rules for the elite.
Yeah.
But in this case, intent is not even an issue. And this in the handling of classified information, it's very clear that ignorance is no excuse and intent's no excuse, and
there's penalties for intent or non-intent, but you know, certainly deliberate action. That's depends. You could go up to and include treason in that, and depending on what exactly she had and some of her actions with it, I don't know. I'm not read into all of that, but yeah, it goes all the way up to that level.
Well, but the real issue here was not. I didn't want to really make the issue about her what she did, but rather what she got away with, and again point out people of color that feel poorly because they are treated differently sometimes. There's absolutely no question, but for the most part, I think we're one, especially in this community. We're one community. We all are treated equally. We do not get away with anything. We have a court system and a prosecutor who does not see color. And now, all of a sudden, there are 2 sets of rules for people. Or let me rephrase that. All of a sudden, we were seeing in America 2 sets of rules. One for people who have means and political pull, and those who don't. And it's very upsetting to us. So
all I know is if I'm ever in trouble in Chicago, I want some Millette's lawyer.
No, you don't, because it looks like he's going to go to jail along with Avenatti.
This next one really irks me. Now, I don't think there's anyone who's walking around right now saying, you know, nothing could be better for you than a big sugary drink. And I guess we're talking about Coke and things like that. Well, there's a group.
It did taste pretty good.
It does taste good. But I don't think there's anyone that is saying to their children, here, let me refill your baby bottle of Mountain Dew, honey, because we all know it's not good for us.
True.
Well, here's what irks me on this one. If you want to drink a Coke, that's fine. I drink a Coke. I don't care particularly if you like it, or you don't care if I like it or not. But there's a group that's dead set against us drinking sugary drinks, especially children. That's the Academy of Pediatrics. Now, what could possibly be wrong with the Academy of Pediatrics being against sugary drinks? Well, they are recommending a higher tax on a sugary drink. Now, since when did tax become a way to create?
There already is a tax on sugary drinks.
They want a higher tax. When did this become a formula to modify behavior? Just tax them. What are we going to seriously? Are we going to tax people who have extreme body odor, or people who belch in public, or people who break wind constantly.
Wear too much perfume.
Too much perfume. When did this become a way to modify behavior? And by the way, while I'm on it, I cannot help but say this. The Academy of Pediatrics is concerned enough about sugary drinks that they're going to recommend a higher tax. Now, do you remember when the Academy of Pediatrics came out and they were so furious about babies being born and then killed and calling that abortion? Do you remember when they? No, you don't, do you? Because they didn't. They didn't come out. They didn't come out against 9-month abortion. These are pediatric doctors, and but they did come out against sugary drinks. And you know what's going to happen? People with money are going to buy a sugary drink. You think that little 10-cent tax is going to affect them one bit? But you know who it will affect? Poor people. Right. You ever think about that? But no, they don't. And by the way, who's this meant to save? Broke people? The broke people, the ones we're worried about? It's just typical tax, with no thought whatsoever given to the why we're taxing. Last word on that is this. We should not tax unless we need to, but we sure shouldn't tax to modify behavior.
True, yeah. That's all it is. Behavior modification.
I can't hear myself all of a sudden.
Oh, you can't?
No. But anyway, I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh, I don't get that. Okay.
We've got 2 more things here, Steve. I don't know.
Hear yourself now?
Good. I can hear myself now. I want to talk about the naked man on the tarmac in Chicago. Have y'all read about that?
Yes.
Okay.
You heard about the Smollett verdict in Rand?
Yeah, really. There was a naked guy. I mean, I guess he'll forever be known as the naked guy. He was in Chicago on the tarmac, and they said he was trying. It appeared that he was trying to board a plane, and they don't know why. I think I know. That's a long shot, but I have a theory. I think he was nuts. The guy was naked on the tarmac trying to board a plane. And my theory, as wild as it may seem, is the guy was nuts. Now, if you're trying to sneak on a plane these days, it's tough enough. Getting naked probably is going to draw more attention to you than you want if you're trying to sneak on an airplane. Now, here's something that's kind of funny. A few days ago, another guy had tried the exact same thing in Russia. And, you know, we all know about Russia. I bet he didn't get treated nearly as well.
I read that one, too. No, because they had a picture of him on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've got to have just absolutely had it up to here to say, heck with life, I've had it, I'm going to get naked and get on an airplane in Russia.
Well, the guy in Russia at least had a reason to do it.
What was his reason?
He said being naked, as they say in Texas, made him more aerodynamic.
Well, that's a good reason. But
he was getting on an airplane. So.
Steve keeps turning me off. Now, did you just say getting naked, as they say in Texas?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one.
Okay. Well, we say naked where I'm from.
Oh, naked. Oh, I get it. You're making fun of my...
I say naked.
Making fun of my accent. I got it. It's very hurtful. Very hurtful. Well, I was going to make some kind of a joke about flying the Russian bear, but you've destroyed that. So, all right. How much time do we have, Steve? I have one more.
You got about 2.5 minutes.
See, that's what happens when you have an unprofessional here. He doesn't know how much time he has left, and he has got to guess. I want to talk about. Everyone knows I love. If you know me, you know I love cops. Love them. And I appreciate what they do more than they could possibly ever know.
Well, you've been there, done that.
Yeah. So. But I want to talk about what I would call a bad cop, but also a stupid cop. This guy's 41 years old. He has 8 people in his department, and he's the chief. You know what he did? He stole the police department's cable box. There are 8 cops there. They like to go in, and when they're doing their reports, they'll watch Fox News or whatever. I know they don't watch CNN, but they watch some news. And he stole the cable box, and everyone knew it. And then he started putting it in for overtime and lied about it. And he was arrested for that. He was arrested while in uniform by his underlings who worked for him. Now, here's what I couldn't get. First of all, they're saying he's innocent, and he says we're presently working on securing his immediate release from custody. And you know why? So he could return home to his family and begin the process of healing. Well, don't steal cable boxes, you idiot. You're the chief. Stay home with your family. You won't have to do the healing. I've always felt that cops are our heroes, as a kid and even now. And I think they should be held to a higher standard. I think judges and prosecutors and attorneys and yes, doctors and folks we depend on, who our lives depend on, should be held to a much higher standard. I don't like
often or not.
Or often or not.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of zero tolerance for anyone, because it's the kind of thing that leads to a little kid getting in trouble because he pointed his finger and said bang bang. But I do think
about 5 seconds here.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone, and good to see you there, Colonel. And
thank you for having me in.
All right, so it goes for this Wednesday. I thank John and the Colonel for coming in and helping me out. And don't forget, of course, this program can be heard later on our podcast page at talk973.com. And for the rest of you, don't forget, millions of Americans, they have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.